Hey everyone, it's about the midpoint of the year 2020, and right now, if you are like probably any other human on the planet, you realize that this is definitely one of the absolute worst years ever. And it's just for a number of reasons. Everybody's in a different place, and most people are not in a good place. And you know, with the year 2020 comes a whole new bunch of 2020 jargon. And I don't know about you, but I really get annoyed with jargon, with some kinds of words. So like in a corporate setting, we have, let's table that, let's circle back on that. That kind of stuff annoys me. Back when I was in the Navy, it was things like, we're going to secure the clinic, or the leadership says we should do something. In fact, there are other words that just flat out annoy me. Words like smoothie. God, I hate that word. Ointment. I can't stand that word. But when we come to 2020, you know what? There's a whole host of words, isn't there? There's COVID. There's COVID-19. There's coronavirus. There's, social distancing. And then there's a word everybody's using these days, and it's the P word. And here it is, pivot. Man, that word annoys me. I think it just annoys me because people use it, and they think that they sound cool when they use it. But I'll tell you what, we might have to actually consider this word since a lot of people are making a lot of changes based on 2020. So when we pivot, it means that we're just like we have a central point and then we're just going to flip on that point. So if we were going this direction, suddenly we're going to pivot and go this direction. And you know, a lot of us have had to pivot because things are definitely different now. But let me just suggest, before you make the choice to pivot, let's ask 4 important questions. So here's question number 1. Am I being emotional or rational? You know, this is a good one to ask because if we are making emotional decisions, there's a chance that that could actually be a poor decision. Because when we're emotional, our amygdala, and we've covered this on some of our workshops, which is our fight or flight mechanism, that actually kicks into action, and we can sometimes do things that are probably not good things to do because we're thinking emotionally rather than rationally. So if you are thinking in my personal life, in my professional life, hey, should I be pivoting? The question should then be, okay, if I'm going to do it, am I being emotional or am I being rational? That's question number 1. All right, question number 2 then. Am I rushing? Let's spell that right. Rushing this decision. You know, I think a lot of us feel like we have to hurry up and make a decision soon because there's a crisis. There's things going on. We have to do something. In fact, some people say, you know, don't just do something, stand there. And maybe that's the best thing that we can do. It's not important that we look busy right now. It's most important that if we are going to make a decision to pivot, that we're doing it for the right reasons and we're not rushing that decision. A rushed decision is often a bad decision. And on top of everything else that's gone wrong this year, the last thing you're going to need to do is make a bad decision. So question number 2, am I rushing this decision? Question number 3, am I good at what I'm pivoting to? I think I spelled it right. All right, so in my case at Boss Builders, you know, we do management training. That's what we do, and I like to think that we're good at it. We're just not doing a whole lot of it anymore because I guess a lot of people really aren't. We're doing a lot of virtual stuff. So if I'm worried about making money, I guess what I could do is I could pivot to a different career path. So maybe in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pivot and I'm going to be a dressmaker. I'm going to make wedding dresses. How's that sound? Well, number 1, am I being emotional or rational? Probably being emotional. Am I rushing this decision? Yeah, I'd probably be rushing this decision. 3rd, am I good at what I'm pivoting to? The answer is absolutely not. I don't know how to make dresses. I don't know what I'm doing. And if it's something that's in need and I want to do it because it's in need, the bottom line is I'm not good at it, which means I'm probably going to screw up if I do it. So that leads us to the final question. And this one maybe is the most important. Will this pivot be relevant long term. So I can tell you that a lot of distilleries, right? Distillery is a place where they make whiskey, right? Moonshine, whatever. And a lot of them, to stay relevant, of course, a lot of people are probably drinking more anyway, but what a lot of them have done is they've gone to making hand sanitizer, because hand sanitizer is something that is in great demand right now. So the question would be then, once COVID is over, when that day comes, I don't know when it'll be, will people still be needing hand sanitizer? And the answer is they will, but probably not to the lengths and depths that we've been needing it these days. So the question is, should I go ahead and make hand sanitizer and not make whiskey anymore? I would say the answer is probably no, because that's not going to be something that's going to be viable or relevant long term. So maybe with all of these are good decisions to think about. When I'm going to pivot, which means I'm going to sort of turn on a dime and do something different to stay viable and relevant in this time of pandemic, number one, am I doing it from a rational mindset or an emotional mindset? Got to determine that. Second thing we have to determine then is, am I rushing this decision? Is it something that I have to do right now? Oh, I picked too dark of a color here. Better just do the outline, huh? Is it something that I'm rushing because I feel like I got to get it done? Third question then, am I good at what I'm pivoting to? All right, again, if I'm not good at making dresses, I probably shouldn't do it. And then the fourth and final question is, will this pivot that I'm doing be relevant long term? If any of those are no, then I would tell you, don't pivot, and don't do it just because everybody's doing it. And don't say it just because it sounds cool, because that's a dumb word. Hope this helps. Again, use your brain, not your heart and emotions, when making tough decisions during COVID-19.